Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And if you're not new, thank you guys so much for coming back. I really appreciate your support. Today, I'm going to be redoing my review on Kayali Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. This is what she looks like. I did post a video of this. I ended up taking it down for the first time ever. I've never done that on my channel, and that's because it was more of a first impressions video, and with first impressions, as you know, your impression can change. Sometimes you don't like it in the beginning and then it grows on you. Sometimes you love it in the beginning and the more you wear it, it makes you nauseous. And this is why I don't really like to do first impressions on my channel. But basically that's what happened with this. I got this Friday morning. I filmed my video Friday evening. It was up by Saturday. And I ended up re-wearing it on Saturday and I had different opinions. So I decided to take it down and give it a proper wear. So it is now Wednesday at 11:53 p.m., almost midnight on Wednesday, and I've been wearing it every day since Friday to give it a proper test. So if you want to see my updated thoughts, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's get into the notes because let's be honest, that's what all of us are here for. As soon as I saw these notes, as soon as I saw her teasers and she mentioned the notes, they had my whole entire gourmand heart, okay? I knew I had to have it. Plus, on her Instagram, she had said that if you loved the original Vanilla 28, that you would love this. And those are some strong words. And we'll get into that if I agree with that or not. But she had said that, and she said that this fragrance was obviously, they're not calling it a flanker, but it was inspired by Vanilla 28. So people had wanted something a little bit stronger, a little bit more grown, or whatever the case. It was inspired by Vanilla 28. When she said that, I knew I had to have it. So I'm taking the notes from her Instagram because there's more notes listed on there. And the notes listed are top notes, vanilla orchid, creamy jasmine, golden rum, yum. Middle notes, vanilla infusion, vanilla sir absolute, tonka bean accord, spicy rose bouquet, smoky leather, and creme brulee. Dry notes, musk, amber, brown sugar, royal oud, and sugared patchouli. I cannot get my words out. I should not be filming at midnight. But this is when my house is quiet. My kids are sleeping. Okay, so let's get into it. Obviously, this is what the bottle looks like. This is an intense version. So the bottles are opaque. This one's an opaque gold. It shows your fingerprint, so I don't love that. But the bottles are pretty. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. And I like that the notes are listed back there. I like that little detail. Let's get into it. Initially, when I first reviewed this, my initial thoughts, I had said, when I first sprayed this bottle ever, I was at my mom's and I sprayed 2 sprays on this wrist and 1 spray on this wrist. When I first sprayed this fragrance, my mom and my husband were both like, please walk to the other room. Like, because it was a lot. When I first sprayed it, it was a lot. This scent is intense, especially in the opening and especially when I first sprayed it. When it opened up, it was so strong. It was unisex, but leaning masculine. And all I got, I kid you not, was a very, very oriental oud and patchouli. That's all I got. And so I don't blame them. It was very strong. And when I first sprayed this, keep in mind it was the first time. But anyways, when I first sprayed this, it took like a solid, I'm gonna say 40 minutes before it like settled down and I actually started to enjoy it, which is a long time. I know this, but I was just being honest with you guys. That's how long it took initially, because initially it was very strong. It was very oriental. It was very like earthy and woody, and that's not my vibe. And that's not what I thought it was going to be because of the notes listed in here. But the reason I decided to take this video down, my initial video that is because, like I said, I got it Friday morning, filmed Friday evening, and then I had it up Saturday morning. But I re-wore this on Saturday. I went out for brunch with my girlfriend for her birthday. And the Saturday that I wore it, it only took about 5 minutes before it settled down, and I liked it. So that was different because initially the first time it took 40 minutes. But what I'm thinking is maybe, and this is why I don't do first impressions, I don't know, but here's my theory. I'm thinking maybe I had to aerate the bottle, like after I sprayed it a few times the first day. By the second day I had aerated the bottle, and it only took about 5 minutes to settle on my skin before I liked it. Plus, I wore it out. So I guess I should say my apartment is very hot. I live in a high-rise building. We don't control our heat. So if the temperature is warmer outside, the temperature inside like doesn't go up or down based on the temperature outside. So my apartment's hot. Like in general, anyone who comes here says it's hot compared to a regular setting. So I just wanted to give a little backstory. But even with that said, the first day I wore this, I feel like I could not wear it inside my house. I don't know what it was, but especially that opening that lasted, the opening that lasted 40 minutes was like very earthy, oriental, woody. All I got was patchouli and oud, okay, for 40 minutes. And then when it settled down, it was still slightly cloying. And I don't know what that was. But then by the second day, when I wore this to brunch, after 5 minutes, I really liked this. So like I said, the opening, you get the oud, you get the patchouli, it's there. It leans masculine in the opening, and the opening is scary, so don't be scared by that. It settles down, at least on me. And then as it dries down, I get this creamy vanilla. The vanilla in this version, in Vanilla Royale, is a lactonic vanilla on my skin. It almost reminds me of like a vanilla ice cream. It's like a milky, creamy vanilla, and I think that's the creme brulee. I can't say that I smell creme brulee like on its own. I would be a liar. But I think the creme brulee is adding like a milky, like creamy, lactonic vibe to this vanilla. So the original Vanilla 28, I find that one to be like a cakey, like baked goods vanilla. That one's a dumb reach for me. It's so easy to wear. This one, the vanilla in this is totally different. It's a heavier, creamier, like lactonic version. So I'm saying vanilla ice cream because that's kind of what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like a thick, milky vanilla. And I think that's the creme brulee that's giving it that. The vanilla in this in general is also much sweeter, and that could be because there's brown sugar in it, there's the sugared patchouli, there's different types of vanilla layered through this, which I love, by the way. And that's what I get. So the longer it sits on my skin, I'm basically, in general, the patchouli stays. Okay, the patchouli sticks around. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. But luckily on my skin, the patchouli is in the background. So I'm left with a creamy, very sweet, thick, slightly heavy vanilla, like a woody vanilla, because you get the oud. But I don't mind the oud in this because it settles down and it's mixed with this thick, decadent vanilla. Like the vanilla in this is milky, it's thick, it's very sweet. I find this version, Vanilla Royale, to be sweeter than the original, and I think it's because it has that milky, like lactonic quality. It makes it a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier, a little bit sweeter. It also has the brown sugar. This has rum. I can't say that I get the rum. A friend of mine said she got a lot of rum. I don't get the rum in this, and if anything, I found the original Vanilla 28 to be like a slightly boozy vanilla. Think like, because it reminds me, the original Vanilla 28 reminds me of like a baked goods vanilla. Think like vanilla extract. That's slightly boozy, and that's kind of what Vanilla 28 reminds me of. This one, I don't get the rum, I don't get the booziness. I basically get a sweet, milky, woody vanilla. This one is much more oriental. The patchouli's there, but it's a sweet, like there's a lot of sweetness in this, and the patchouli's in the background. Luckily, the oud kind of stays front and center, but the patchouli takes a step back, which I'm okay with. I don't mind oud in fragrances. And because it's mixed with a lot of those sweet kind of gourmand notes, I don't mind that. I do not get the rose. I don't get any of the floral notes that are listed in this. I don't get a floral scent at all. I get a gourmand fragrance. Thick, sweet, creamy vanilla mixed with that oriental woodiness from the oud. That's basically what I'm left with. If I would have judged this based on the first time I wore it, I did not like the opening. Mind you, this is still a fragrance where I've worn it several times now, and I've worn it to different places, and I still don't like the opening, but luckily, the more I wear it, the opening only lasts like 5 minutes, so I'm okay with that, to be honest. So I don't love it for the first 5 minutes, but after that, I do really, really like this fragrance. On my skin, it plays really well, and it does smell gourmand. This is sweeter, it's more oriental, it's more woody than the original Vanilla 28. So as for the statement that Mona said, where she said, if you love the original Vanilla 28, you will love this, I don't think that part is true, because I think they're very different. Honestly, I wouldn't even like compare them. I mean, maybe this is like the grown and sexy older sister, okay? But she's much older because Vanilla 28 in general is like, it's delicious, but it's simple. You know what you're getting. It's a dumb reach for me. This one is a more complicated. It's a lot more oriental, a lot more woody. It's a denser vanilla. It's a little bit of like that creaminess. Some people might find this to be cloying. Luckily on my skin, I really like how it plays. And that Saturday that I went for brunch, the reason I was reconsidering all of this is when I went in to hug my friend. We're Portuguese, we're huggers. When I went in to hug her, she was like, "What are you wearing? You smell so good." And I agree. After 5 minutes, and the longer this sits on my skin, it warms up to be this sweet, milky, lactonic, woody vanilla. It's decadent and it is really good. On me, it works. I do think, even in my hot apartment now, the first day, I'm not gonna lie, this was choking me out and this was choking other people out. But like I said, I don't know if I just had to aerate the bottle or what, but now I've worn this in my hot apartment, and even in my apartment, I could wear it. I just have to be careful. I would only spray 1 or 2 sprays of this. If I was going to be in a space where like it was really packed, it was hot, let's say I was going to like a small space, like a Christmas party at a family member's house, and there was going to be a lot of people in there, I would only spray 1 or 2 sprays. But even in my humid apartment, and my husband is so sensitive to scents, the first day he reacted to this and he was like, walk away. But after that, the more I wore this, it didn't bother him at all. And he's very sensitive to scents, and he liked it the longer it sat on my skin. So this is one where my first impression did change, but in a good way, which usually doesn't happen. So I love that for me. And it does last really long. I sprayed this when I first did this video on this sweater, and it's still here. I feel like it will be on my clothes until I wash it. And it lasted on my skin the whole day. I would say like a solid 7 hours, which is really good. But for an intense version, I would expect that. But basically, I'm pleasantly surprised. I really like this. I can't guarantee, I wouldn't say just because you love the original Vanilla 28, you would love this. I don't think this is blind buy safe. And this fragrance in general, I feel like this release is very hit and miss. It seems to be like it's working for a lot of people and it's not working for a lot of people, because I have a friend that I met here on YouTube actually, and she said she could not wear this, and she also loves the original Vanilla 28. So I can't say that I stick to that comment. I can't say that I agree with that, but for me, this did work out really well. I think they're different enough to own both, and I really like them. This is a scent though that Vanilla 28, the original, I could wear year round, anytime, easy reach for me. This one is one that I would only wear in the fall and winter time, but I could wear it inside or outside. But I do think she performs better outside. When I wore this out on Saturday, it was gorgeous, and it was freezing that day. It was like -2, and it smelled so good, and it was projecting. Like when the cold air was blowing, I swear that's how my friend smelled it. It was like, I could smell it. Basically, I was walking, I could smell myself, and I was loving it. So I'm glad I gave it another chance. I'm glad I gave it like a proper review, because the more I wear it, the more I like it. And I think they're so different. You could own both. And yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on my other socials. They're always linked down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.